Hey guys, I so need to give this testimony and praise report about Afghanistan. We are hearing so many bad reports. So much bad news is coming out of Afghanistan, but I want to give you a praise report. A praise report about prayers being answered. You know, about a year ago, our team members inside of Afghanistan called out and said, hey, right now we are being stopped by the police outside of the village where we're working, and they are checking our phone to see if we have a Bible app on our phone. Can you help us to be able to have access to the Bible without it being discoverable by the police? So Back to Jerusalem called together all of our hackers. We have this hackers conference about once a year where we bring together our partners that are specifically engaged in doing all kinds of things that can help us get the gospel into closed countries. And those hackers came together and they were able to develop what today we call Operation Black Trumpet. Operation Black Trumpet is this amazing way that we can provide access to the Bible for our friends who are in Afghanistan where it is not discoverable on their phone. Now, I can't go into details about it because of the security of this project, but I can tell you our prayers have been answered. In Afghanistan, the Taliban is going from door to door. They are looking for the Bible app on people's phones. They're even going out on the streets and stopping people, even on trains and buses. They are looking to catch people with the Bible or Bible teaching materials on their phone. But those of our partners that have access to Operation Black Trumpet have the Bible without it being discovered. And this is something that is an answer to prayer. Now, if you are not a Back to Jerusalem partner, but you know somebody inside of Afghanistan that can specifically use this Operation Black Trumpet, contact us because we want to make this available to as many Afghanis as possible. This is a very, very simple project that can help save lives. And I believe that this is a direct result of answered prayers in Afghanistan. You know, in the year 1900, something amazing happened inside of China. It was both tragic and amazing. What happened in the year 1900, a little over 120 years ago? There was the biggest persecution against Christian missionaries that has ever been perpetuated in Christian history. More Christian missionaries were killed than ever before in missionary history. So there were all these missionaries that were being targeted and killed during what we call the Boxer Rebellion. And this was June, July, August of the year 1900. The following year, something happened as the church began to hear the reports of what was taking place inside of China. You know, the enemy thought that if he could kill off the missionaries and strike fear into the heart of the church around the world, he could stop the gospel from coming into China. What happened was the exact opposite. Instead of fewer missionaries coming in the next year, 1901, 1902, 1903, in what eventually became known as the golden age for missions in China. What happened at that time was more missionaries came in than ever before. I believe the same thing is possible for Afghanistan. You know, the gospel is moving towards Afghanistan from China, and the enemy knows that his time is limited. So he is doing everything that he can to scare the church. And the church's initial reaction is, we need to get out of there. We need to hide from the Taliban. We need to run from the Taliban. We need to save our friends from the Taliban. And I think that it is something that we all need to do, is help individuals that are being persecuted by the Taliban. But could it also be that it is now something that is a burden for the church to carry, that we as believers must send out more missionaries to Afghanistan, send in more believers into Afghanistan, preach the gospel even more into Afghanistan? The enemy is trying to strike fear for a reason. I believe that God is calling the nation of Afghanistan during the last days. And we need to listen and not be afraid. Our actions should not come from fear, but from faith. And I believe that with faith, we can conquer the enemy in Afghanistan. The church can do what the American military was not able to do, what the European military was not able to do, what no government in the world was able to do. You know that they call Afghanistan the graveyard of the kingdoms, or the graveyard of empires. But the kingdom of heaven has not yet invaded Afghanistan. And when it does, Afghanistan will be transformed. And I pray today for that transformation. Not that we as the church run away, but that we send in more missionaries, more individuals that have a burden to carry in the good news to the Afghan people. And that's why today, Back to Jerusalem missionaries are focused so strongly on the nation of Afghanistan, and why we give praise for Operation Black Trumpet and your support and your prayers specifically being answered. Thank you guys so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for standing in the gap for the people of Afghanistan. God bless.